Hello, everyone. It's Sherry at the Fledge. Welcome to another episode of Every Damn Day. I'm sitting up in my office. I've got my art and my art collection behind me. I'm wearing a shirt from, what were those guys called? Ugly McGillicuddy or something like that. It was a fashion thing that was in the runway for a while, and a good friend of mine, Robert Mentavo, back from the day. So today on the show, we have somebody very special to me. It's one of my all-time best friends, Sandy. How you doing today, Sandy?
I'm good, Jerry. How are you?
I am doing super good.
Good.
Happy Easter to everyone out there who celebrates Easter. I think it's Passover too, so happy Passover if you're celebrating that. And happy being an atheist if that's what you choose to do too. So what you doing today? This show?
I'm doing the show. I had an adult Easter basket for my adult daughter that we did this morning, and we'll go home and fix Easter dinner when this is over. So
I just, before we started, I get these news flashes on my screen, and it said that Hash Bash is going on right now in Ann Arbor on the Diag.
I saw some of that on social media.
Yeah. You ever been to that?
No, my husband has, but standing around in a crowd is not something I enjoy. So
yeah, I used to go every year when I lived in Ann Arbor. But it's been a while, but it's an appropriate day for Hash Bash.
I know, and I think it's really interesting that they're doing it, even though everything is legal now. So
yeah, I wonder. Maybe they're They said they were protesting something. It could be the reforms to the law.
Yeah.
And maybe even the way licensing's been done, because like in Lansing, I'm not very happy at all with how they chose all these corporate guys and brought in outsiders and all that.
Yeah.
But we're going to get to that. Let's start with talking about you. So tell us where you were born and raised, where you went to school, what some of your jobs have been.
Okay, I was born and raised in Traverse City, and I moved down to Lansing when I was 18, as soon as I could get out of there. My grandfather was the sheriff of the town I grew up in, so I needed to leave. And I had a kind of a corporate job working for a small business. I did that for about 30 years. I have an amazing husband and a daughter that helps me all the time, and I appreciate both of them.
Yeah. So do we want to talk? Because we worked together at that small business. You want to shout them out at all? And
yeah, sure.
Say some of our friends, like Jay?
Back then it was Pre-Sort Services, and now it's called Extend Your Reach. But I don't really haven't had anything to do with that part of my life or that job for many years.
I thought that was such an interesting business.
It is.
You know, I thought it was going to be boring and, you know, stuff like that. Like it's just bulk mail and junk mail and all these things. And it was a fascinating business.
Yeah. The whole thing about being able to machines and reading information and being able to translate it into a different language, their language, barcodes, was always, I thought, super, super exciting for technology all around.
Yeah, it was fun. And it was, well, I guess we'll talk about some of our friends in a little while, I guess. But because maybe I don't want to put the business in the same light.
I know. Yeah, he might not like that.
Yeah. So what do you do now?
I am a medical marijuana caregiver. I've been doing that for about 8 years now.
Yeah. Did you what made you, well, what's that mean? Let's explain it to everybody,
Okay.
because not everyone really knows the licensing and stuff like that, or how that works.
Okay. I have 5 patients, who each get their medical marijuana license, but they don't really have any way to grow their own marijuana. And they want to use it medically to help with their pain and different things that cannabis helps with, but they can't afford to buy it retail. Because if you're really fighting cancer, you're really fighting pain, the volume that you need is just too expensive unless you can figure out a way to grow it yourself. And I offer that by growing it for them.
Yeah. And so a lot of people, so marijuana obviously was illegal for quite a long time. We've always called it a cure-all. I've been always open about my use. I've been using for a very, very long time. Even when I was a kid, I smoked sometimes.
Yep.
When I was a D1 wrestler, I smoked sometimes. And then after that, you want to know what I do every damn day.
Exactly. I do believe in the plant, the magic of the plant.
And I do too. I feel like one of the reasons I feel young and vibrant and still healthy today, knock on wood, is because of that vitamin I've taken every day.
100% agree with that. And so even before I became a caregiver, I've been using marijuana since I was 17 years old. And anything that people are afraid of about, would we not be productive? Will we not be successful? I think, you and me and all of our friends have shown that we can be successful and still smoke pot.
Right. And it's not like I was smoking pot and then driving around all day,
exactly.
Whatever. So before the medical marijuana came into light and it was illegal, and then medical marijuana comes on, and then every 18-year-old kid that could get his card gets his card.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have the perception that that's all just a big joke, that it was just a way to get it sort of legal, and people weren't really in need of the medicine.
Yeah, and that's never been the approach that I've taken, because my husband, my husband did this first. He was the caregiver, but then he got sick and he got cancer. And I needed, because of what I believed in, I needed to be able to put him on a product called Simpson Oil. Simpson Oil is made with the buds of marijuana, and I needed to have such a huge volume of it in order to make it for him that it just was not even feasible that we could afford to buy it. So I needed to figure out a way to make the medicine he needed, and myself, because I also have pain I use it for, and also be home to take care of him. And so I took over the whole caregiving business rather than going and finding a different job that would take me away from the house.
Yeah. So we have such a great crowd. And Mona David, would you be able to answer that question? What is the endocannabinoid? I can't even pronounce that question.
I don't know. I'm sorry, Mona.
We're going to stick with, let's go back to Simpson Oil.
Okay.
How do you make that?
Because I'm only making it for one person, I don't worry about putting it in a way for him to actually ingest it. So we take about 8 ounces of marijuana, all the buds, the best parts of it. We mix it with 200 proof alcohol, and then it goes on like a double boiler for 4 or 5 hours, where on a real low heat, we just simmer all of that alcohol back off it. So we end up with like a real black, nasty tar, which in the dispensaries, they put them maybe in way to inject it into your mouth, shoot it into your mouth, or a capsule. I just pour his in a glass container, and he takes about 1 gram of it every day. And
does he just eat it?
Yeah, he just eats it. He's been doing it for so many years that he doesn't have any problem with it. It tastes horrible. And it's sticky as it can be, but he's got the way to do it and he takes it. And I am convinced, as well as his doctors, that that Rick Simpson oil is directly helping him with the tumors he has in his brain.
Yeah.
Because when he did immunotherapy, that doesn't go to your brain. So it was able to help all of the cancer in his body, but we have stopped the progress and the growth of his tumors with Rick Simpson oil.
So with that, is he's still fighting though, right?
Yeah, he's still got a couple spots in his brain, but they're not growing. They're totally stable. He's not doing any cancer treatments anymore. But we didn't just do Rick Simpson oil. He did every clinical trial, every regular medicine, everything his doctors recommended. And then we use the marijuanas, the edibles, the Rick Simpson oil to help with the side effects of his meds. And also we believe the Rick Simpson oil will help the tumors in his brain.
Yeah. So why is it called Rick Simpson oil? You want to tell us the history of Rick Simpson?
Guy named Rick Simpson and made Rick Simpson oil and believed that it could help not prevent cancer, but it could help get rid of cancer if you ended up getting it. And we had read enough about it and believed enough in the plan itself that when we found out Gary had cancer, we knew we had to be able to get him on Rick Simpson oil and then keep him on it. You have to take it every day, but like I said, we're not seeing any change in the tumors in his brain, and he's not doing anything else to prevent them from growing.
So some questions about that. It's super expensive, right?
It's super expensive, yeah. I mean, when you think I have to start with 8 ounces of marijuana, I need alcohol that I have to have shipped into Michigan. Just to get the alcohol here costs $60. And then you start out just using a tiny bit, but then you need to use more and more and more. And it just gets to where we would be paying hundreds of dollars a day just to get him the volume that he needs.
Yeah.
And that's when people call me about Rick Simpson oil, I feel so bad because the first thing I have to tell them is it's super expensive unless you can make it yourself.
Yeah. And luckily, you guys were in a position to make it yourself.
Yes, exactly.
So does any insurance cover this?
No, not at all. Yeah, not at all. And I don't understand why, even in its legalization, it's still not fully legal to do as much as you want to every day. But from a medical standpoint, no, we don't get any help with it.
Yeah. Do you, how, I get so pissed off that we schedule or put it on Schedule 1 as a country when we made it illegal, which then said we can't do any medical research on it. And now we're so far behind where we could be. What's kind of your response to that?
Well, exactly. There's so much talk about, well, it's legal now, but it's still so controlled that as a medication, but then no medical help, it's too difficult for people to really use the product the way it's meant to be used. If you want to use it from a medical standpoint, they've just made it really hard for people to be able to afford it.
Yeah. Do you think that it'll be legal nationally at a federal level?
I do think, and I think some of that might help with this, come with this administration.
Yeah. And are people doing more research? I know like Mississippi State, I think, has a huge marijuana program that they're doing a lot of research. Mm-hmm. I know in Israel, they do a lot of research with marijuana. What are you seeing from that perspective? Or are you still grassroots?
Yeah, I mean, I worked at a corporate, at one of the big pot factories, and I do really see how that's necessary for recreational. To get it off of Schedule 1, where it makes it impossible for people to do what we need to do. But it is still one of the most studied plants in the world. I mean, it's just here that we have the difficulty of being able to get any type of clinical trials medically. Even when Gary was in the hospital, I had to sneak him edibles and things to help him with his blood pressure and things that they just could not control. And it makes me feel good that we are having so much discussion about making it more legal and easier for people, but I still am concerned about people's ability to afford it unless insurance can somehow get involved.
Yeah, it's super sad.
Yeah, and not everybody can grow it. If you live in an apartment, or even inside, it's farming. It does a lot of damage. There's a lot of humidity, dirt. It's not something that everybody has room to do in order to make their own stuff either.
Yeah. So is it a certain, you study strains a lot, right? Or
I do.
different types?
Yeah.
Tell us about your work in that area.
Well, outside of the Rick Simpson oil, when my husband got sick, I wanted to make sure I always had a clear head. So I quit using marijuana. And then I realized how much pain I was in, how much the plant had been controlling for me. So I started to look into that to figure out what strains we could use specifically that would help with pain versus something that might be easier to use during the day to just kind of help you with your daily anxiety, and different strains for different people. And I have, it hasn't been from studying anything except for what I'm growing and keeping track over the last 8 years. At some point in time, I touch every single bud we grow and just keeping track of what seemed to be working for everybody for pain versus anxiety versus going into some type of edible.
Yeah. So anything in particular that is interesting to you that you can tell us? You got any secrets you want to share?
I don't know. What are any secrets? No.
We had a good friend of ours, Faith, who is a botanist and a geneticist from Michigan State, and she's out at Cornell now doing research in the marijuana space.
Yeah, what a fun place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I do have to say it's a great job. I mean, I walk down my sidewalk to my own barn where it's 75 and sunny every day. So nobody's getting rich on it, but there's a lot of fulfillment and enjoyment in what we do.
Yeah. Does it smell good?
It smells wonderful all the time.
So I want to make sure we say this one more time. Do you credit Rick Simpson's oil to saving Gary's life?
Yes, I do, because he did have a lot of medicine too. So those things I absolutely believed help everything working together. What's giving him, I think, the quality of life he has now and not having to be under any cancer treatments, that's saving it. I mean, we live a pretty normal life for somebody who's got cancer in their brain, and the only thing it could be is the Rick Simpson oil.
Yeah, it's amazing. I
don't know that it would work for everybody. I just know it works for him, and if it ever ends up to where I would take it myself if I had cancer.
Yeah, I'm gonna be learning. Never mind.
Sadly, for all of us, I don't think that marijuana is a preventative to cancer, because I'd smoked a lot before I had cancer, and so had Gary. But it did help a lot. Like edibles helped a lot when he was in the hospital, so he could eat that type of stuff.
So, did you ever smoke too? Did you guys smoke cigarettes?
Oh yeah, I smoked cigarettes up until probably about 5 years before they told me I had cancer.
Yeah, I need to quit.
Yeah, and Gary, he did, just a few, never really a lot back when he was younger.
Yeah. So, yeah, cancer's tough. And did you use marijuana when you had cancer?
I did, but that was really back in the Vicodin heyday. And that was for sure something we didn't want to do with Gary. But back when I was diagnosed, the doctors were prescribing Vicodin like crazy. And that just always had a horrible reaction to Vicodin. It makes me really hyper. So Gary would roll me joints and would offset, to kind of calm me down by just smoking. I didn't use any type of edibles or anything, but I did smoke pot.
So what would you say your mission is? And has your mission changed since your cancer, since Gary's cancer? Has it been evolving?
Yeah, well, because I think that we are evolving. So the way we look at everything I'm going to be 60 and my husband is 70 is different. And our goals are different for just wanting to have a quiet life and be able to be home and be together for what years we have left.
Yeah. Is there something you do every damn day to push that mission forward?
Every damn day, my husband and I get up and have coffee in the morning and talk about what we're going to do with the plants. And with us both working in them, we have to have different responsibilities so as not to hurt our marriage and make our plan for the day. And it's wonderful. And then we walk out to our barn.
I wonder if Gary would ever come on the show, because I start thinking about how long I've known him.
I know.
Because was he at Kent State during the shooting?
Well, his parents brought him to Michigan State because they wouldn't let him go to Kent State. So, and I told him that you may be after him as this goes through. And Gracie too. She said she talked to you about the nanny life.
All right. I still need a guest for tomorrow.
Oh, well, you know a guy or a girl.
I do. So yeah, we could talk about, Florida. Remember that time we were in Florida together?
Yeah.
We could talk about Marks.
And oh my God. That seems like a whole lifetime ago, doesn't it? I mean, we were such different people back then.
Yeah.
We were definitely about making money and doing the hustle every day.
Yeah, it was different.
It was different. Our priorities are better now.
I think so too.
I love being able to take care of my family and be with my family.
Yeah. We daisy chain these shows together. And yesterday on the show, I had a good friend of mine, Josh, who is a tech guy. And his question for you is, what's your favorite TV show?
My favorite TV show is General Hospital. And I'll put it out there for everyone to make fun of me about. But I don't watch any other TV show on a regular basis, but I make sure I record and watch General Hospital every day since I retired from my past job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember. I can only remember Young and the Restless because Margot used to make us watch that.
We don't watch the same soaps, your mom and I. Who is my best friend, for anybody who doesn't know that. Jerry's mom is my best friend. We've been friends for 30 years. That's how long I've known you, Jerry. Wow.
Yeah. Am I like your fourth or fifth best friend?
Well, you fall in, separate. All my friends are Norrises.
Tomorrow on the show, I don't have a guest yet. It might even be Gracie.
All right. Is it always at 2:00? Because she works. Yeah, she nannies.
We'll figure something out. Someone will come on.
Yeah.
I already asked Mona. She turned me down. Oh. She watches the Days of Our Lives at 2 every day.
I love Days of Our Lives. And is it?
No, I don't know.
That's my second favorite show, Jerry. See, I'm giving you all this ammunition.
It's funny because Josh's favorite show was South Park. And for potheads, it seems like South Park would be our favorite.
Exactly. Well, there's a lot of comedy in soap operas, when they're coming back from the dead and put it on masks looking like other people, like you do.
I haven't watched a soap opera that I know of in a long, long time. So did we come up with the question?
Oh, for tomorrow?
For the
Yeah,
guests that
yeah.
will happen. There's
Okay.
no way we're going down at 204. Did
And
you
I
know
guess
you were guest 204?
no.
It's a lot of guests.
So 161 left.
That's right.
Oh, well, I can offer you 3. They all know that you may call them any day.
Okay.
Okay.
Margot said hers is Pinky in the Brain.
Is that?
I don't know that that's true. I remember us thinking Pee-wee's Playhouse was pretty funny every Saturday morning. Drink coffee and smoke weed and watch that.
It's a great way to start a weekend.
But we still got to ask the non-existent guest a question.
Okay. My question is what they do. If they celebrate Easter, how do they do it? And if they don't celebrate Easter, is there some other similar holiday that they celebrate?
That's such a great question. I like that question a lot.
Good.
What is happiness to you? And the second part will be, are you happy?
I have a silly mantra when things were going really bad for us about 10 years ago, that all I wanted to do was sit at my kitchen table and watch Wheel of Fortune with my family again. So when I think about the happiest times I have, it is that 7 to 7:30 time slot where I sit and can watch Wheel of Fortune with my family and compete against each other, of course.
Yeah.
And I think I'm very happy because I'm very, very grateful for 29 years of living with the same man, still thinking he's funny.
He's fucking hilarious.
He's hilarious. And then a daughter, you know how proud I am of my daughter. I can't even begin to express how happy I am with the way her life is going to.
Yeah. Did you expect it to turn out so great and everything?
My life?
Yeah.
My life? It's completely different than I ever thought it would be. I certainly thought that I would still be working in my suit somewhere at this part. I never realized that I'm not that person until I didn't have to do that anymore.
Yeah. I'm so happy to be out of the corporate world like that.
I know. Just being able to decide what hours are best for me to work. When am I at my best? I am not at my best at 8 a.m. Yeah. So I like being able to set my own hours.
What gives you hope?
Well, people give me hope. I really, really believe that 80% of the people that I encounter are good people trying to do the right thing. And if we can stay focused on that, then we can all work together and things will be good again.
I would say that, we're relatively liberal, right?
Way, way liberal.
I don't know why I said relatively. We're super liberal.
You're super liberal.
So 80%, that means some of the percentage that you come across are Trump people.
Yes.
You believe that about them too?
I don't have anybody left in my life who is a Trump person, unless I am related to them. So I don't know that I'm able to answer that.
Yeah.
Because, it wasn't just me cutting them out of my life. They were very happy to cut me out of their life because they don't have the same beliefs for freedom and equal and fair that I think you and I have.
I see some people starting to kind of backtrack on the human rights part.
Yeah.
How horrible the human rights were, and really just saying, well, financially it was better. And,
wasn't that shocking? I'm just so shocked that people can even use that as a point over the human rights.
Yeah. But I think they're starting to understand that they bet the lives of young people at the border, or the LGBTQ community, or starting a whole racist movement against a whole type of people, or continuing the racist movement towards Black and brown people in this community, in this country.
Yeah, we were so surprised, I guess, with how well hidden all of that hatred and prejudice and willingness to let money be the number one motivator until I think about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, we did a lot of these battles. We thought we had actually changed some things, and it's sad that we haven't, but I still think it's still that 20% of the people are making this because they have power.
Yeah. It was funny to me, you know, we always thought growing up in the North that it was the Southerners that were the racist ones. But the people in the North had it so well hidden and so integrated and so subtle that, or at least from our white perspective.
Exactly.
But it was there the whole time, and it almost seems worse.
Yeah, I tell you, you stand and admire and look around and go, I'm surrounded by people who have horrible beliefs, and I think we all thought it was a smaller percentage. My brother recently moved here during the Trump era. He moved here from Kentucky. So this was his first presidential election in Michigan since he was 17 years old. And he's been shocked by the militia, by the prejudice, by the hate, that when he moved out of here at 18, he was too young to know was there. And said basically what you just said, which is he had lived in the South, he thought it would be better. And now he believes it actually is worse because it's so accepted.
Yeah. And I don't know, there's a secret language. There's a, is it the whisper culture or something?
Yeah.
Like that? What did we forget to talk about?
I don't know. What's left?
Nothing on the list, really, except for you got to take us out with something super profound.
Super profound. Okay, well, I'm going to leave it with my peace out. That's all I got.
It's perfect.
All right.
We'll just say deuces.
Yeah.
You're at the studio here at the Fledge, so I'll come down and see you in a second. And then you're going to go off and have an Easter dinner?
Yep.
All right.
Small, no crowds.
We could do 20 shows, you know.
Yeah, I know. We'd pull some memories out and beat them up.
We have dogs to talk about. We got kids to talk about. We got friends to talk about.
We could just do another hour on yesterday, probably.
Yeah, that's true. Or the last 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, exactly.
How do I get this a Tongan royalty on my show?
Oh, you want Putney. You want Putney. She doesn't like to talk about herself.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I think she's probably only ever said 3 words to me. So, all right. Then it's deuces it is.
All right. Peace out.
Peace out, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow on another episode of Every Damn Day. I am still looking for a guest. Mona, I know you said you're not ready, so I'll respect that, but I think you're ready. And we're saving Margot for Mother's Day. Yay. I don't know if I told her that or not.
You did. When I heard you telling her.
All right, good.
And Bonnie for Father's Day, right?
Yep, that's right.
All right.
So, all right, everyone. We love y'all. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.
Bye-bye.